The morning sunlight streaming through the window of a small apartment in suburban Chicago illuminated Olivia Harris's tired face. As she gazed at her reflection in the mirror, she let out a small sigh at the beginning of yet another new day. After tying her dark brown hair back and applying minimal makeup, she headed to the kitchen. "Charlie, time to get up," Olivia called while knocking on her son's door. "It's already 7:30. We can't be late for school." From inside came the sleepy reply of an 8-year-old boy. Just 5 more minutes." "No, you need to get up now. Breakfast is ready." Back in the small kitchen, Olivia buttered toast while organizing today's schedule in her mind. Morning would be routine work at the accounting firm. During lunch break she needed to deliver some paperwork to her son's school, and in the evening she had to go grocery shopping. As a single mother, life was a constant battle with time. Finally, Charlie appeared in the kitchen in his pajamas. The boy with tousled brown hair still looked half asleep. Seeing him, Olivia couldn't help but smile. Charlie resembled his father Nathan, with the same nose and mouth. That sometimes made her heart ache. "Good morning, Mom," Charlie said with a big yawn as he sat at the table. "Good morning, Sleeping Beauty," Olivia joked, placing a glass of orange juice in front of her son. "You have a math test today, don't you? We studied together last night, so you'll be fine, right?" Charlie shrugged. "Yes, I guess." "Not I guess, but definitely," Olivia said brightly. "You're smart, so have confidence." After finishing breakfast, they hurriedly got ready and left the apartment. After dropping Charlie off at school, Olivia headed to her workplace, Johnson Accounting Firm. She had worked there for 5 years and earned her boss's trust through her diligent work. Upon arriving at the office, her colleague Sarah greeted her with a smile. "Good morning, Olivia. How was your weekend?" "Same as usual," Olivia answered with a smile. "Went to Charlie's baseball practice, cleaned the house, nothing special." Sarah looked at her with sympathetic eyes. "What about Nathan? Did he keep his promise to visit his son?" Olivia's expression clouded. "No, he canceled again. Said he was busy."
Can you imagine making $10,000 a month just from YouTube, all from home? That's exactly what I did with Candlelight Stories. No face, no voice. Check the link in the description if you're curious.
With work. 3 years ago, her husband Nathan Harris suddenly asked for a divorce. As it turned out, he had been having an affair with a young interior designer named Brooke Simmons. The divorce process was painful. Nathan claimed joint custody, which the court granted, but in reality, he often broke promises to his son and was always late with child support payments. "Someday he'll realize what a precious thing he lost," Sarah said encouragingly. Olivia shrugged. "It's in the past. I'm just focusing on moving forward now." In truth, she hadn't completely moved on. Especially when Charlie occasionally asked, "When is Dad coming home?" It broke her heart. It was difficult to help her son understand his father's absence, and she always tried to hide her anger about Nathan's neglect of Charlie when speaking to her son. During lunch, Olivia was eating a light sandwich at her desk while checking her emails when an internal call came from reception. "Olivia, there's mail for you. Could you come to the office to pick it up?" "Okay, I'll come right away." At reception, an elegant envelope with gold trim was waiting for her. The moment she saw the sender's name, Olivia's heart skipped a beat. The names Nathan Harris and Brooke Simmons were printed in beautiful calligraphy. Back in her office, after closing the door, she opened the envelope to find a luxurious wedding invitation. Olivia read it several times in disbelief. Her ex-husband was inviting her and Charlie to his wedding with the woman he had left her for. How arrogant! Olivia felt her face flush with anger and humiliation. Just as she was about to tear up the invitation, Charlie came to mind. Her son still had strong feelings for his father. How would he take this news? If he wanted to go to the wedding, should she prioritize her son's feelings? Olivia placed the invitation on her desk and stared out the window. It had started to rain, and the gray sky made her mood even heavier. She didn't understand why her ex-husband had invited them. Was it just a social courtesy, or did he have some other intention? Either way, Olivia realized she would have to discuss this with Charlie tonight. Whatever decision she made, she had to consider her son's feelings first. And deep down, she wondered if seeing her ex-husband happy might finally help her put the past behind her. As she put the envelope in her bag, Olivia took a deep breath. "I can get through anything," she told herself. "I want to go to Dad's wedding." Charlie's voice was filled with excitement. Olivia studied her son's face, furrowing her brow. She had anticipated this reaction when she told Charlie about the wedding invitation, but seeing his genuine joy still hurt. "Do you really want to go?" Olivia asked quietly. "You know, Dad marrying Brooke means they'll be a completely separate family from us." Charlie shrugged. "I know. But Dad is still Dad. Isn't it natural for me to be there on his important day?" Looking into her son's innocent eyes, Olivia hesitated about what to answer. "Well," she finally said, "I'll think about it." In the end, Olivia decided to prioritize Charlie's wishes. Seeing her ex-husband happy would be painful, but she could endure it for her son's sake. "Let's behave our best and not give anyone anything to complain about," Olivia made a firm promise with Charlie. 2 weeks before the wedding, Nathan kept his visitation day with Charlie for the first time in a while. "I'll pick him up at 10, he promised on the phone. "I'll bring him back by 6. Olivia checked the clock repeatedly as she waited, half doubting that Nathan would keep his promise. However, surprisingly, Nathan arrived on time. When she heard his luxury sports car stop in front of the apartment, Charlie leaned out the window and waved. "I'm going, Mom." Charlie shouted happily, slinging a small backpack over his shoulder. "I'm going to Dad's new house." Olivia forced a smile and kissed her son. "Have fun. Be on your best behavior." Nathan just waved to his son without making eye contact with Olivia. Watching the car drive away, Olivia let out a deep sigh. There had been no direct conversation with her ex-husband since the wedding invitation arrived. All communication had been through brief text messages or phone calls. Meanwhile, Charlie's eyes widened when he arrived at Nathan's new home. It was a large house in an upscale suburban neighborhood, complete with a fountain in the front yard. "Wow, this is amazing!" Charlie exclaimed in admiration. "Do you like it?" Nathan smiled proudly. "The inside is even more impressive. Brooke designed it." Entering the house, Charlie saw modern interiors spread before him. White marble floors, glass tables, designer furniture. Everything was perfectly arranged, like something out of a magazine. However, there was nothing child-friendly in sight. "Isn't Brooke here today?" Charlie asked, unable to hide his curiosity. "Ah, she's out having brunch with friends," Nathan replied while checking his smartphone. "Then she has some final wedding meetings, apparently." "Dad, what are we going to do?" Charlie asked expectantly. "Well," Nathan pretended to think. "Actually, I need to make some work calls. I'm waiting for an important client to contact me. You can watch TV in the living room. Or would you rather play with the games you brought?" Charlie's face showed disappointment. But he quickly tried to act cheerful. "TV is fine." As time passed, Nathan became absorbed in his work calls, and Charlie spent more time alone in the living room. Bored, he began exploring different parts of the room. There were several photo frames on the shelves. Photos of Nathan and Brooke smiling. The two of them embracing on a beach. A group photo with Brooke's family. Charlie felt a little sad when he realized there wasn't a single photo of him. Just then, Nathan poked his head out of his study. "Bored?" he asked his son. "You can play games on Brooke's tablet." She said it's fine. He handed Charlie a tablet that had been sitting on the coffee table, then returned to his study. Charlie played games for a while, but accidentally returned to the home screen and noticed various app icons. Out of curiosity, he tapped on the Photos app. Hundreds of photos were stored there. Brooke's selfies, travel photos, group shots with friends. Charlie was casually browsing through the photos when suddenly, one caught his attention. It was Brooke embracing and kissing an unfamiliar man. The date displayed was yesterday. Charlie was confused. Wasn't this his dad's fiancée? Why was she kissing another man? He had once heard his mother use the word affair while watching a TV drama. Was this the same thing? Instinctively, he felt this photo was something important. Out of curiosity, he took a screenshot and saved it in his game app folder. Then he returned to his game. At 6 p.m, Nathan dropped Charlie off at the apartment. "Did you have fun?" Olivia asked as she greeted her son. "Yes, I guess," Charlie shrugged. "Dad seemed busy." Olivia gave a bitter smile. "I see. But it's good you got to spend time together." After dinner, Charlie suddenly said, "Mom, look, I found an interesting photo." He took out his tablet and showed his mother the screenshot. Olivia froze for a moment, staring at the screen. There was Brooke passionately kissing an unknown man. "Where did you find this?" Olivia asked in a trembling voice. "At Dad's house." "I found it on Brooke's tablet," Charlie answered innocently. "I thought it was a weird photo." Olivia took a deep breath and pretended to be calm. "Yes, it is a strange photo," she answered calmly. "But it's not good to look at other people's photos without permission. When you're a guest at Dad's house, peeking at things there is impolite." Charlie nodded, looking a bit ashamed. "I'm sorry." "It's okay," Olivia said gently. "It's bedtime now. Go brush your teeth and change into your pajamas." After Charlie went to his bedroom, Olivia looked at the photo again by herself. This was clearly evidence of Brooke's affair. Did Nathan know about this? How would he react if he saw this photo? Olivia put down the tablet and held her head in her hands. She was conflicted about what to do with this information. Should she tell Nathan? Or should she let them solve their own problems? Her relationship with Nathan was over. She shouldn't have the right to interfere in his new life. Yet something whispered in the back of her mind. Perhaps this was fate. The man who had hurt her would now experience the same pain. Was that fair? Would acting on feelings of revenge be good for her and Charlie? As the wedding approached, the conflict in Olivia's heart deepened. On the wedding day, Olivia chose a simple cyan blue dress. Not too flashy, yet not too plain, appropriately elegant attire. She checked her appearance in the mirror several times and took a deep breath. "It's okay. This is for my son," she reassured herself. Charlie, dressed in a new navy blue suit, was excitedly pacing around the kitchen. "I want to give Dad a present," he suddenly announced. "A present?" Olivia asked in surprise. "What are you planning to give him?" Charlie produced a small box. It was a jewelry box Olivia had used before, tied with a gold ribbon. "It's a secret," he grinned. "I won't show it to anyone until Dad opens it." Olivia felt uneasy, but seeing the pure joy shining in her son's eyes, she couldn't say anything. "I see, that's a lovely thought," she said with a smile. When they arrived at the wedding venue, the Grand Regency luxury hotel in downtown Chicago, it was already bustling with guests. As they walked through the lobby, Olivia felt stares from around them. Among the people whispering, some clearly pointed at Olivia. "That's the ex-wife. Why did they invite her? It must be for the child's sake." Olivia straightened her back and continued walking with dignity. She held Charlie's small hand tightly, trying to give him reassurance. Upon entering the ceremony hall, they saw it was decorated luxuriously in white and gold. Magnificent chandeliers hung from the ceiling, white roses were arranged everywhere, and at the front stood an arch adorned with flowers. There were about 200 guests. Olivia and Charlie were guided to seats at the back. "Mom, that's Aunt Brooke," Charlie whispered. When Olivia looked up, she saw Brooke emerging from the bride's preparation room. She was wrapped in a white designer dress, looking like she had stepped out of a magazine. Her long blonde hair was elegantly styled up, and diamond earrings sparkled. Olivia felt a tightness in her chest. This woman had once taken her husband. And now, she appeared to be having an affair with another man. Complex emotions raced through her mind. The ceremony began solemnly. Nathan stood at the altar in a black tuxedo, his expression full of confidence. When Brooke entered on her father's arm, sighs escaped from the audience. They vowed their love to each other and exchanged rings. Watching this scene, Olivia recalled their own wedding. Had Nathan's eyes shone with such brightness back then too? Charlie proudly watched his father. "Dad looks cool," he said softly. After the ceremony, the reception began. Round tables were arranged in the banquet hall, and Olivia and Charlie were seated at a table with distant relatives and casual acquaintances. Food was served, champagne was poured, and as music played, the MC stood up with a microphone. And now, a speech from the groom, Nathan Harris. Nathan stood up, looking slightly tipsy, and took the microphone. "Everyone, thank you for coming today," he said, slurring slightly. "I'm honored to share such a happy day with all of you important people." He began with touching words about his love for his new wife. "Brooke, from the day I met you, my life changed. I was completely captivated by your beauty, intelligence, and passion." Warm applause came from the audience. However, Nathan's topic gradually shifted. "Life is interesting, isn't it? You learn from one failure and then find true happiness." Olivia tensed and straightened her back. She somehow understood the intention behind his words. "Before, I was making the wrong choices. But now it's different." Nathan's eyes scanned the room, and suddenly he pointed at the table where Olivia and Charlie were sitting. "Getting away from that garbage has made my life the best it's ever been." He laughed loudly. Laughter began to rise from the audience too. Olivia sat frozen, unable to move. Her cheeks burned, and tears welled in her eyes. Charlie looked up at his mother with a confused expression, tears shining in his eyes as well. "Mom," he called in a small voice. After a moment of silence across the venue, Charlie suddenly stood up. "Dad," he called out in a loud voice. Surprised, Nathan looked in his direction. "Charlie." Nathan showed a slightly confused expression but quickly regained his smile. "Oh, my son. What is it?" Charlie left the table with a determined look and began walking toward the central stage. Olivia tried to stop her son, but it was too late. Charlie stood beside Nathan and took the microphone. "Dad, I have a special celebration for you too." His voice was small but carried well in the silent venue. The audience was surprised by this sudden event and watched breathlessly. "Oh, a present from my son," Nathan laughed with drunken enthusiasm and patted Charlie's shoulder. "What is it?" Charlie took a small box from his pocket. The elegant box with a gold ribbon was the one Olivia had seen that morning. "I have a present for you, Dad. Open it." Nathan happily accepted the box and untied the ribbon. "I wonder what it is," he joked, addressing the audience. "A special gift from my son." The moment the lid opened, the smile vanished from Nathan's face. He stared at the contents of the box, and gradually his face turned pale. "What is this?" His voice trembled, barely audible. "It's a photo of Aunt Brooke," Charlie answered innocently. "I found it when you let me use the tablet at your house. I thought it was a strange photo. I wanted to show it to you." Nathan took the photo out of the box. The audience couldn't see what it was, but Olivia, knowing what it contained, understood what Nathan was looking at. The decisive moment captured in a photo, Brooke passionately kissing an unknown man. Nathan's face contorted with anger, and he let out a near scream. What is the meaning of this? The entire venue fell silent. The celebratory mood instantly disappeared, and the air turned ice cold. The color drained from Brooke's face, and as she tried to stand up, her legs gave way and she collapsed back into her seat. Nathan, she said in a trembling voice. I can explain. Charlie looked up at his father with an innocent expression. Dad, aren't you happy? It's a special celebration present. Olivia quickly stood up and began walking toward the stage. The venue fell into complete chaos. Nathan glared at Brooke and threw the photo at her. What is the meaning of this? Explain yourself. His voice trembled with rage. Brooke stood up with a pale face and picked up the photo. Her fingers were shaking. Nathan, this is... She stumbled over her words. The wedding guests watched the two intently, holding their breath. Who is he? This man. Nathan shouted. How long has this been going on? Brooke closed her eyes for a moment. He's a client, she finally spoke. This was a mistake. Just once. The day before our wedding. Nathan's voice grew even louder. The day before we were to be married. Charlie looked up at his father with a confused expression. Dad, what's wrong? Aren't you happy? His voice was small and full of anxiety. Olivia quickly climbed onto the stage and placed her hand on her son's shoulder. Charlie, let's go back, she said quietly. But Dad is angry, Charlie was confused. Did I do something wrong? No, you did nothing wrong. Olivia took Charlie's hand and tried to leave the stage. But Nathan turned to her. It was you, he pointed a finger at her. You orchestrated this, didn't you? You used our son to humiliate me. Olivia calmly stared back at him. No, Nathan. It was a photo Charlie happened to find. He just wanted to give you a present. Liar. Nathan's face reddened. A child wouldn't do something like this on his own. Brooke's relative stood up and began trying to calm the situation. Brooke's father grabbed Nathan's arm, saying, "Calm down." The MC hurriedly took the microphone and said, "We've had a bit of an accident, but please, everyone, enjoy your meal." The band quickly began to play music. Olivia tried to leave the venue with Charlie. "Let's go," she whispered to her son. Charlie drooped his shoulders and asked with a sad expression, "Did I make Dad angry?" "You did nothing wrong," Olivia repeated. "It's just adult matters." As they were leaving the venue, Nathan caught up with them. "Wait," he stopped them in the hallway. "Why? Why did you do this?" Olivia shielded her son behind her as she answered, "I didn't do anything. As Charlie said, he just wanted to give you a present of a photo he found on Brooke's tablet. Can you believe it?" Nathan gave a bitter laugh. "My wedding is ruined." "That's not my concern," Olivia said coldly. "You invited us here, that was your decision, wasn't it? And you called us garbage." Nathan was momentarily speechless. A look of regret flashed in his eyes. "I was drunk." "That's not an excuse," Olivia said quietly. "Come on, Charlie, let's go." In the car on the way home, Charlie was quiet. "Mom," he finally spoke up. "Why was Dad angry? What was that photo?" Olivia hesitated about how to answer. She decided to explain it simply. That was a photo showing that Aunt Brooke had a special relationship with someone else. But she was about to marry Dad. So Dad was very surprised and angry. She lied. Charlie frowned. Yes, in a way, Olivia answered. But this is a complicated adult problem. You just showed the truth. You did nothing wrong. When they got home, Charlie sat on the sofa, looking tired. What if Dad hates me now? He said in a small voice. That won't happen. Olivia sat next to her son and hugged him. Dad loves you. He's just confused right now. After Charlie went to bed, Olivia sat alone in the living room, drinking wine and deep in thought. Then the phone rang. Looking at the screen, she saw it was from Nathan. She took a deep breath and answered. What? She said coldly. Olivia, listen, Nathan's voice sounded exhausted. The wedding is cancelled. It's over with Brooke. That's your problem, Olivia replied. It has nothing to do with me. But you two ruined everything. His voice was filled with anger again. Especially Charlie. Don't blame my son. Olivia raised her voice. He did nothing wrong. He simply showed the truth. Didn't you teach him that lying is wrong? He acted purely out of concern for you. On the other end of the phone, Nathan could be heard choking up. You're right, he finally admitted. Charlie isn't to blame. But you knew, didn't you? About that photo. I didn't know until he showed it to me, Olivia answered honestly. And I was conflicted about what to do. But in the end, I decided to respect my son's judgment. Good grief. Nathan sighed. Everything is a mess. You can't turn away from the truth, Olivia said quietly. When you betrayed me, I had to face that reality too. Now it's your turn. The phone fell silent. After a while, Nathan spoke again. Is Charlie okay? He's confused right now, Olivia answered. He tried to please you, but it backfired, and he's hurt. Maybe you should call him tomorrow. I will, Nathan said. And that day. I'm sorry. Saying garbage and all, even if I was drunk, it's unforgivable. Olivia nodded silently, forgetting he couldn't see her. Just be kind to Charlie. That's all. After hanging up, Olivia stared at the night sky outside the window. She tried to sort out the complex emotions swirling inside her. Revenge? Satisfaction? Or just exhaustion? It felt like none of these. Rather, it was a sensation of being released from some heavy burden. 6 months later, Olivia was organizing things in her new apartment. Her promotion at the accounting firm had been confirmed in early spring, and she had decided to move to a more spacious place closer to the school. Sunlight streaming through the windows brightened the room, lifting her spirits as well. Mom, where should I put this? Charlie asked, holding a large photo frame. He had grown taller recently, and his features had become a bit more mature. On the living room table is fine, Olivia answered with a smile. Many things had changed in these 6 months. Charlie had made more friends at school and had become more cheerful than before. He had started to excel on his baseball team, hitting his first home run in last week's game, contributing to the team's victory. And the relationship with Nathan had gradually improved too. After the wedding fiasco, he had started keeping his promises and spending time with Charlie regularly. Child support was also being paid without delay. Last month, he had come to watch Charlie's baseball game and had cheered loudly for his son's performance. The intercom at the entrance rang. Charlie, Dad's here to pick you up, Olivia called out, and Charlie ran to his room to get his backpack. When she opened the door, Nathan was standing there. Hey, how's the moving going? He asked, looking a bit nervous. Fine, just organizing the small things now, Olivia answered. Need any help? Nathan offered. After Charlie and I play catch. Thanks, but I'm good, Olivia smiled. Jenny is coming over later. Jenny was a new colleague at the accounting firm who had become Olivia's first close friend in a long time. Meeting her had brought Olivia new social opportunities. Charlie returned, having finished his preparations. "Dad," he ran over happily. "Did you bring the new glove?" "Of course," Nathan gently patted his son's hair. "As promised." After they left, Olivia sat alone drinking coffee, staring out the window. The pain of the past hadn't completely disappeared, but it no longer dominated her life. Ironically, the wedding incident had brought her a new beginning. Since that day, Olivia had learned the importance of living for herself. In addition to her promotion at the accounting firm, she had begun implementing a business plan she had been nurturing for years. Her small tax consulting service had just started but was gradually gaining clients. In the evening, Charlie returned, dropped off by Nathan. "Mom, I hit 3 home runs," he reported excitedly. "That's wonderful." Olivia hugged her son. That night, after Charlie had gone to bed, Olivia went out onto the balcony of her new apartment and looked up at the starry sky. She opened her diary and began to write. Truth sometimes brings pain, but it is also a harbinger of new beginnings. Charlie and I are now truly beginning to weave our own story. No longer bound by the past, we are stepping into the future. Family is not just about blood ties but is bound by trust and truth. Perhaps I learned that valuable lesson, ironically, at my ex-husband's wedding. Olivia took a deep breath and smiled at the starry sky. A new chapter of her life was just about to begin.